walking down the street, concentrating on trucking right. I heard a dog voice beside of me, and I looked round in a state of fright. Well, welcome everyone. 1 a.m. Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Sorry we get it wrong. We're doing this on the ad hoc. Thought I'd put a live on as I was asked. Unfortunately, I believe other people are doing one as well, but that's just the way it is. I'd like some people to try and come in the chat and onto the panel. If you just want to try it for the first time, we've got Bella Babes, Max Brannin, myself. I'm not sure who else, but there's 7 in right now. Hope you're having a good night, having fun and looking forward to this. Not so sure what we're going to talk about, nothing planned. But we'll give it a go. Max Brannin, too many countries, that. Well, thanks for coming, and we'll see you about. Anybody been over on the other streams that have been on tonight? Plastic Paddy's on, I believe. And just a second. Just a second. There we go. Just getting things sorted out so I can see the comments, because StreamYard's a little bit behind for some reason. So I get the comments a bit later. Where's Eddie? I've no idea. I haven't spoke to him. I'll get a link out to him at some point shortly. Well, unfortunately, Bella, yeah, sometimes certain people, you know, some of it's interesting, but some of it's a little bit, I don't know. I like his ones he does, you know, about spaceship, making people smile, my man. Good to see you, brother. Are you out in the hammock in the woods? You're being talked about all over, mate, doing that. I think you're going to be pursued by a pretty lady. So be careful. I don't think it's going to go down well with the missus. Hearing that there's somebody looking for you in the forest or the wood. Smiler. And up yours, Max Brannin. Yeah, the fighting talk. I don't know. It's a little bit of, I don't know, bits of current stuff, but then there's a lot of stuff about their personal experiences, and I don't know whether everyone's interested in hearing that. I don't know. But no, generally, Steve's done a good job with the channel. It's just from time to time he tends to neglect it a little bit, and really he shouldn't do that because he's he's done a good job overall, you know, and it was a lifeline for a lot of people during the lockdown. You know, I must admit, it helped me a lot, as well as other channels. But you know, the lockdown, it was good. Yeah, I like the UFO chat, things like that. The heavy breathe. I'm not sure who that was. It might have been. I know he was breathing something green, and it came in a stick that was white, and it had an orange end. No idea what it was. Some kind of UFO thing. No, mate, if you can get away with being in the house where all the munchies are, etc., etc., and you're not peeing in the bush, do that, my man. Probably Dean, to be honest, Bella. Probably Dean. I just put a couple of messages out. See, everyone's got word. I might have to put a little phone call in. So we've got 11 in. Yeah, it can be like that when he's been on the body as well. You put a nappy on making people smile. Jesus. It's not good. Yeah, I know Galvin's about. He's just probably finishing up somewhere. He's a right chat. Or so. And he's got a real enthusiasm for it, which is really good. Obviously, he's realising that in all roses, we can have a few issues here and there. But generally, it you know, it could be fun, and he likes a good chat. Educated in a lot of areas that I'm interested in. You know, the troubles, things like that. He knows a lot about the Republican aspects more so than I actually do. I know bits, but I'm not. He's absolutely educated on in those Republican aspects, which is quite interesting to me because it's always good to learn a wee bit more. I mean, generally, it was all the politicians' fault. Unfortunately, they were just, I don't know, we're mere mortals to them. That's the problem with, government situations, stuff like that. We're just mere mortals. And we have to follow whatever they decide to do. But Calvin's got a really good education on that, which is going to be somewhat I'm going to pick his brains on the channel. So I think it's about time. We've got 11 in. I'm just going to check some out quickly. Because I did hear a word that someone else was going to do a live, which I didn't absolutely know about until about 2 minutes ago. But it sounded, the time seemed, the message came then, but the timing seemed wrong. They said 12 o'clock, but it's actually 1:45 when I got the message. It's a bit odd. Never mind. Maybe they're on. And we've got this little look over in Paddy's. We've got Celtic there, and we have Darren in there as well. So essentially, it might get a bit lively in here. So we have to control Dean a little bit, don't we, Bella? Coming and making people smile. Get up on the panel. I want to hear this. Next time I'm on, making people smile. That ain't good enough. Sorry, I don't always fancy doing a live, but I get asked and I do one. By yourself as well. Come on, mate. Up you come. You don't want me coming round and spinning around in that hammock. It's a quick story. Can have your emoji up. It doesn't matter. I don't want to see your face, first off. This is a different channel. Slightly different rules. So come on, Smiler. Up you come. There's challenges in life, my friend. And you know about a few of them. And there's challenges that are much harder, much graver, much affecting. Coming on live and explaining the story is not one of them. So up you come, mate. Come on. Don't be letting me down. Just going to open a can of Coke. Because it's time for a brandy while I listen to MPS explain the story. Right, come on then. Anarchy Television, nice to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. I saw a bit of your live where you'd said that you'd had a ban. I didn't even know. Wouldn't believe. Well, listen, run it past us, mate. Run it past us. I've had a few stories and a few things that I've said, opened up quite a lot as well. And, sometimes, things get said, but when you can prove aspects or, you have, as long as you know what you saw, your own belief. That's good enough for most people. So come on, mate. Up you come. Don't be letting me down. Anarchy, how you doing, mate? So YouTube deleted one of your videos claiming misinformation of the 2020 election. Gave me a strike and put you in jail for 3 weeks. Okay. Well, a man of your caliber clearly could escape jail. That's no problem. But no. I didn't even know, mate. And it's not because I didn't notice your channel. It's like, I suppose the time flies by, doing your own thing, and thought, well, yeah, you might not be putting it live on, but it seemed like you were doing it. I don't know what it is. It seemed like you'd done a few lives within the last 3-week period to me. But obviously you didn't, but I remember one way, it might have been when you got your channel back. You had the radio up, and I'll be honest with you, Anarchy, it absolutely, the sound sometimes really gets to me. Sorry, is the sound okay now? So I'm going to get a stand for this anyway. Is that okay, Bella Babes? Come on, MPS. Kick my mic. Is that okay now? Not really. Jesus Christ. Is that any better? How about that? No, MPS, listen, mate. It ain't like that at all. You know, stranger things go on, my friend. And no one will laugh at you. You know, what you've seen you've seen. I've had a few different experiences in certain places that actually turned out to be renowned for sightings, things like that. And I told them stories. Is that better now, yeah? MPS, come on. Look at some of the challenges that, some of us are facing. Life-changing challenges. And tell a little story. That's not any better, Bella. You really... God. Right, I can only do one thing. Is that any better, people? Because we'll have to stop this otherwise. It's 1:20. Can I have a response, please? A bit clearer. I don't get why it's doing that. I'm going to try something totally new. Is that any better? There. It's just really frustrating. Love the test. Come on, MPS. Get yourself up here, mate. It's no biggie. I think most people find it quite interesting. You tell one and I'll tell one. How about that? I'm just going to try something quickly. Strange. Galvin didn't get. He rang me and I didn't even hear a thing. So come on, MPS, because Galvin's coming up as well. So Enoch Prophecy was the first alien abduction written down 364 days a year. Hi, Jason. Yeah, I'm holding it in my hand, but it's a pain because I've got to do things as well. Just about to pour myself a nice drink. And obviously I've got to operate things. Yeah, so Galvin's coming on shortly. Come on then, MPS. Don't be letting us down because I will do a story after you have. You might have heard it though on Arts, I think. I'm not sure. But I'll do one after you have. That's fair enough now, yeah? As he pours the brandy. So, not sure where everyone is. Let's get this set up a wee bit. So, just wait to see you. Then you'll tell us something in the chat after Smilers said something. That'd be interesting, Max. Here we go. Bet mine's better than yours. We'll get it sorted, MPS. That's what I like, a bit of fire. I think one of my stories, you've probably heard it on Art's channel. Not so sure whether it was a real experience anyway, but it was odd. And I think it was more some. Does anybody in the chat know what My Labs is? Go on then, Bella, show us yours. Sounds interesting. Or am I being a bit naughty, sweetie? I've heard Bella's fit. That's what I heard. Yeah, MPS, don't be getting your bloody nose in there, you bloody dodgepot. You'll be spinning around in that frigging hammock until you get smaller and smaller, and then we'll tape you up, chuck you in a box, and send you to Mexico. Get as much anything you want, cannabis, whatever. You'll have a nice holiday. Fit for the bin. Well, looks like being stood up on the panel here. Piano Man. I've never heard Eddie play on a piano. Unless there's something new going on that I don't know about. Pretty much, Bella. He needs controlling very, very sternly, does Ardeen. But, you know, you have to, you know, attempt to give others a chance. MPS, you wouldn't get in her bed because I'd be there already. And she'd have such a look on her face. And her legs would be shaking so much she'd knock you straight out. How about that? I don't think you get in Bella's house. MPS. Don't think you got the skills. I can crawl through a letterbox, me. Cat flap, no problem. Cat flap's worth going through for a bit of pussy. La 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 la, babe. You there? Hello, who are you? I've not seen you before. Oh dear. I knew she was like that. Do you know, MPS? Have you ever, or every guy in the chat, have you ever, you know, you not necessarily meet, but you're around somebody new, female, and they've got this look about them. They don't have to be totally stunning, gorgeous, but fit, you know, absolutely, yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. I won't mind. But not totally 10 out of 10 fit, you know, just nice. And they've got this thing about them. I call it the X. they've got this thing about them that they're rocket fuel. And without being, no, I wouldn't say slutty look. It's like, there's something about them. Like you can't, I don't know, you don't necessarily, you don't know this person. This has happened to me about 3, maybe 4 times in my life. And from the first time, I was only about 14, turning 15. And it was actually a teacher called Mrs. Jackson. And she had this look about her, and I knew she was red hot. You know, she didn't have, the totally 10 out of 10 stunning looks, and, blokes dropped dead for just the looks. It was something else. And without knowing the person very well, as things went on 2 out of the 4 I had liaisons with, and it turned out to be absolutely correct. This thing that I saw, they didn't have to do much. I didn't really know them. Nobody had told me anything about them. On all these occasions of these 4 different females. And the 2 that I ended up having some liaisons with were absolutely explosive. Amazing. But it's this look, it's like an X Factor sort of thing. I used to describe it as to me mates. Unbelievable, like you think, wow. And they've got something that you actually want really, but you didn't always get. But I had a 50% strike rate. Well, one of them was obviously way older, but she was a flirt. Unbelievable. She used to end up taking me to college 1 day a week in a Golf GTI. And she'd be driving it fast, skirt moving up. She knew exactly what she was doing, did Miss Jackson. And absolute flirt. But then it turns out what my things were, my thoughts of those people were absolutely right. Wake me up, please. Yeah. Well, listen, MPS, you need to wake up and get on the panel. I'm waiting on bloody people. They're just not coming. Don't know where the hell flipping Gal said he'd be on there. A few minutes. I believe countries are manipulating things. The USA is definitely. So you like a bit of survival, Max Brandon, yeah? Let's create a banner. We'll do a little one that, you know, he's gonna. We had a little conversation before. It was regarding going on channels, etc., etc. And you know, almost as if you're a part of the, you know, the framework. You're always ready to survive, Max. I think that's just part of the human psyche, isn't it? Something's not quite right here. Come on in, MPS. Where are you, bro? Flat Earth. Well, do you know there's quite a lot of pilots that believe in that for some reason? And there's been a little bit of conjecture regarding it. So it always seems to be pilots. I'll tell you what, though, the moon. I've got a view on the moon. Yeah, maybe. MPS. You need to get yourself forward and get yourself in the hammock and get on here. God knows where Galvin is. So I don't know what he's up to. Well, yeah, he was commenting on another live. Tell you what, my StreamYard comments are absolutely rubbish. Don't know what I do if I. Why do you think it's a flat Earth, Max? I'm asking. Mm. So anyone else going to come up, or are you just going to be chat holes? It'd be nice if somebody did. I mean, seems like I'm being goddamn let down somewhere. Which isn't very good, is it? Everyone hear me okay? Well, I think, if we don't get any guests, it's going to have to be a bus. Yeah, I'm having to hold it. So, just a wee bit dull. I'm just going to check some out. Well, I want to get on with some subjects. You know what I mean? It would have been nice to do that. But we'll see in it what happens. Because you can't talk to yourself, really, can you? As such, unless you're reading out information. No, I'm a little bit shy. It's just I like to get on with, whatever subject, etc. But no, MPS, are you coming? Yay or nay? Because I think we'll call it a night otherwise. Because guests said they were coming and they're not, so there's no point talking to yourself, is there? And probably get some to eat. Might put one on later, I don't know. But seems a little bit pointless. Right, an MPS last chance. Because that's it. Done. Otherwise, it's, Yeah, I ain't gonna mess around. Yeah, I think we'll end this one and we'll come back a bit later, innit? Perhaps give it half an hour or something, an hour, and get me food and whatnot. Because I was to start reading stuff out, things like that. I mean, there isn't much kind of going on anyway. I mean, I don't know what people are interested in as such. Is it just the crime and things like that? I don't know. But no, you've got Art Hostage and Galvin on the panel on Paddy's. That's why. Okay, then MPS. If you're gonna come on, get on now. Just link up. Otherwise, we're gonna end it. So, good night, everyone. Thanks for coming. No MPS. We'll go over Paddy's and we'll start one a bit later. It just seems to be, you know, people said they're going to come over and they've not. It's a little bit. So we'll go over that. We'll go over there for half an hour or whatever. And then take it from there, I suppose. MPS, I'll put the link up one more time. Because I'll have a chat with you for a little while. We'll do a story each. Maybe Max will put one in the chat, but other guests said they were coming and they haven't, and it's kind of a little bit of a kind of pissed me off in a way. I ain't gonna lie. All we have to do, MPS, is link on while you finish setting up. And I know you're coming, you know what I mean? Otherwise, it's just pointless. Okay, we do a countdown. In 40 seconds, we'll do a 1 minute countdown. And then we've got someone already. MPS.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hooray, yes, we can.
All right, I'm on, but give me 2 minutes, yeah? I've just got to do a couple of things.
Okay, mate, I'll leave you to it. I just got another message there and then from the other person. It's like, what the hell? All right, mate. It's like, well, the thing is we'll have a little chat with MPS before we do anything else, and then we'll see what happens. So, what you been up to, bro? Anything good? Can you hear me? So, thanks for looking at your stuff, Max Brennan. What stuff is that? Thanks for looking at your stuff, sir. You haven't. What stuff is that? I don't know. I know, mate. Sorry, but it's relying on other people. I mean, when you think that people have asked you to do the live, then I don't know, that's the problem with doing them around other people. So MPS, do you get a good connection?
What?
You get the Wi-Fi from your house, yeah?
Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah, at that spot. That's all right, isn't it? I thought you'd leave the hammock up, or does it get wet or something?
Nah, there's kids about like during the day. Do you know what I mean? They'll probably fucking wreck it.
Break it, mess it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's swinging on it. Where did you get it from?
What?
Where did you buy it from? Go outdoors?
Nah, eBay.
eBay.
It's only 30 quid.
Yeah. So you've done what I've done a few times, kept the family up, yeah? Or they've heard you conversing. You like the fact we answer the chat? Oh, try to. But the thing is, Max, is you got to bring some subjects. Ah, we got Tom. But the thing is, it's not allowing me to put him on. Tom, your camera's not on. Your settings are not correct. It's not letting me put you on. Ah, this is it. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, how are you? You well?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah.
Driving home with Tom, yeah?
Yeah. How you doing? You been working then, yeah?
Yeah, I just after finishing up there now, so.
How's things?
Yeah, really good. I never better, buddy, to be honest. Yeah,
That's all
everything
right.
is going great.
Yeah, well, I just started this, but it's conflicting with another live, and certain people said they were going to come on, and they haven't yet. So we got
Okay.
MPS there,
Yeah. He's very funny.
and yourself. But we're waiting on Galvin, and he's ended up on the panel on another live, Plastic Paddies,
All right, cool.
and he can't break himself off for some reason. But you know, I started it because they asked me to. But he said he'd be over shortly, so let him finish what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He's not under contract.
No.
I'll give you some shit for it, though.
Uh,
Give you some shit for it because, you know, like he's asking for the link and everything, and it's like got the link to him and thinking, where is he? But we're going to cover some subjects over the next, I don't know, next couple of weeks. We'll get some organised where we can all get involved a bit better, yeah?
yeah.
You know, we know what's going to go on.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what Cromwell wants to do next week.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that'll be a bit of a laugh. Did you watch that video?
Sorry, Tom, I
You did?
just got an interaction going on. 1 minute.
Yeah, what great.
Sorry about that, mate. I was just getting something sorted out.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, bit of food. Yeah, oh, here we go. Galvin is a traitor. No, he can go wherever he wants, but obviously he's setting it up. And then
Yeah.
Steve started letting people on the panel, so you know he's gone over there. I would have ghosted it normally, to be honest. Well, actually, I was on Paddy's. I go on there whenever, but no, it's just certain people that I don't know if you know a certain other person's on the panel as well.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I had a feeling that I haven't gone over there to listen to that. Like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
just,
He must have just like 10 minutes after I started mine, he must have started letting people on. Because
yeah. No,
at that point,
this is my first time now on YouTube in like 10 days or something. I
yeah,
haven't
you
even
haven't been
opened the
on,
app.
have you?
Like
I had to cut the messages with you, haven't I, on the old Instagram. How are you finding Instagram?
sorry.
How are you finding Instagram?
Can you speak up a small bit? Just I've only got one earbud and this fucking.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm finding it hard to hear you. That's all.
I couldn't hear you then.
Yeah. What did you say? How am I finding Instagram?
Yeah, how are you finding Instagram?
Yeah, because I have no social media at all. I'm actually enjoying it, but I only have one rule, and if you're living outside of Ireland, you're in. But if you're in Ireland, you know where I fucking am. Come and visit me or ring me or whatever. But
Yeah.
if you have to fucking sail on a boat or fly in a plane, you're in.
I'm
So-
like that with Facebook. I don't do Facebook whatsoever because of, you know, like situations from past. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say Facebook is really can be an absolute horrible place, and I don't have a Facebook account purposely. I've only just got the Instagram, probably 6 months ago or something, or whatever it says. But yeah, Facebook. You know, I heard of some, and I was around a bad experience on there. You know, that involved a divorce and things like that.
Yeah.
It's quite vile. So I never sort of had a Facebook account after that.
Yeah, so no, I've no social media presence at all, and it's by choice. So yeah, I have the account locked, and it's very only letting a few in, and I'm not like following. I'm not following like anybody bar people like friends. I'm not following like fucking this person or that person or that famous
Yeah.
person.
Sorry about that. I had to keep
I know
muting it because I had people around.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, I'm just following people that I know, like that I would talk to. Like
Yeah, as long
I
as
give
you
a lot
keep
of
your circle small.
I have a lot of friends that live abroad, like that I grew up with and I used to work with and stuff. Czech
Yeah, I
Republic.
think as long as you keep your circle small, you've
Pardon?
got a bit of feedback there.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that better?
I think so.
I think so.
No, it's coming
Yeah,
out
it's
on
coming out
yours.
on yours.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll go back to the earbuds. It's just
People are saying that Galvin's getting too famous now.
sorry.
uh, people are saying that Galvin's getting too famous now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's very interesting. Like,
Good for him. Good for him. He's knowledgeable on.
he's a cool dude.
You
Like,
know?
he's very interesting. Sure.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know, and obviously he
it
did
just,
say he was going to come on here, and it's a little bit frustrating. But to be honest, he can go where he likes, can't he? You know.
of course he can. Yeah, but
No,
it's
he's
good to
very
do something
interested.
different.
But obviously you make an arrangement, yeah. But let him finish what he's doing, and you know, I want to get into some stuff to do with the Troubles because
Yeah,
he's very knowledgeable on Republican aspects, isn't he? Wouldn't you say?
yeah, he knows his stuff all right.
Have you heard like him on the Republican aspects?
Here, I'll get back to you in a minute, Marshall. I'm just going to pop out here. The wife is calling me here, so.
So your wife's calling you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure she
All
knows I'm
right.
coming home
Well,
from work now. I'm sure
do
she's going to. I'm
you
sure
want
she
me
has
to
a
kick
task
you,
for
or do
me
you want me to
tomorrow.
leave you?
Huh?
Do you want me to leave you, or what? Mute
Yeah,
you.
I'll leave. I'll come back. I'll come back in.
All right. I'll kick you off then. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, mate. I'll see you in a minute. Now then, MPS, you got a story for us, haven't you?
I have indeed. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, but I don't know even if I want to tell it. You know what? You'd probably laugh. It's fucking that wild.
No,
You know
no,
what I
no.
mean?
Listen.
Yeah, but it's weird. I was on something as well, but that didn't matter because other people saw it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Right. So how it goes is like I went round my mate's house and we had a few acid tabs. Yeah. See, this is where it gets funny. I've told people this, and as soon as I told them that, they started laughing. Right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm going to mute myself occasionally because I'm just eating something, yeah?
All right. So
But I'm listening, yeah? We're listening.
So what happens is I go around my mate's house. We had a few acid tabs, and I've had two straight away, but he only wanted the one. And then about half an hour later, I thought, "Fuck it, I'll have another one." So I'm on three by now, right? And then so we're chilling out and whatever. And then after about an hour, start to come up a little bit, but not much. So we're still like with it at this time. And then we go out to the garden, having a joint and whatnot. And then he's like, he looked up. He's like, "I can't look at the sky." So I've looked up, and then he was like, "What's that over there?" So I looked, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I see it. It's like just like a red light thing, but it was moving all weird and whatnot." So then, like, we just carried on watching it, but we're not proper up by this time. This is the point. And then it it was getting closer, but it was shooting about the sky, and then like eventually it was getting closer, and then it come literally above the house. And when people typically say like they saw a UFO, they think it's like a little round disc or whatever, but this wasn't round, it was massive. And when I say massive, I'm talking like at least a couple, 2, 3 football pitches, like big. And it was literally a couple 100 meters above the house. And we're looking at it. He's like, is this real? Because we were on acid, right? So he called his missus and his missus' kid out. And as soon as his missus looked out, was like, what's that? And it was like a big fucking massive like block thing. And it only had red lights on it, right? And then it was just hovering above the house. And like, we called her out because me and him's like, are we really seeing this? And they've come out. And as soon as she saw it, she's gone, what the fuck is that? And the kids come out and said, Mum, what is that? And she said, get the fuck in the house, get in now. So me and my mates, like, we've gone in the house, you know what I mean? They're like, they was all getting all panicky and worried and whatnot. And they was like, what the fuck was that? That was fucking huge. That's not normal. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, that was the story.
When it's
But then,
that size,
yeah, it was
that must be
massive.
terrifying. Something like that went
Oi,
over LA, didn't it?
listen, I'm telling you now, sort of my own eyes, so did my mate, but was on acid, but we weren't even up by this point, right?
Yeah.
So, but the point was, we got his missus and his kid to come out, and as soon as they saw it, they were fucking terrified. They grabbed us. I said, "No, I want to watch the fucking thing," and they were like, "No, get in the house now." All worried and that. Shut the doors, lock the doors, and all that. And yeah, and then the next day, when he went to the shop, they was all saying, "Did you see that thing flying about last night?" So it was like, it was one of them. But honestly, it was a mad experience.
What?
And I saw it
That's
with my own
Nottingham,
eyes.
isn't it? Or Northampton?
Northampton. But
Was it
honestly, like,
reported in any news or anything?
I didn't see anything. I didn't even look, to be honest. But it was a thing whereby I thought like a UFO. We saw it from miles away at first. Yeah, it was just a little fucking red thing shooting about the sky, and then it was weird how it come literally right above the house we was at, about 200-300 meters above, right, and it
Yeah.
was just filled the whole sky. It was that big. And it was red lights and it was fucking huge. And me and him, because we're tripping, I've had 3 fucking acid tabs, by the way. And then half an hour after that, I'm coming up off the acid and I'm thinking, was that what I saw was real? So me and him was like, fuck it, we'll go walk in the streets. And then I'm tripping my nut off now. I'm floating down. Honestly, I was gone, right? And then I'm thinking about this UFO thing. I'm thinking, are we going to get abducted? And then that just sent me on a bad trip. We've gone back to the house, and this trip lasted 15 hours, mate. The walls were, honestly, it was fucking mad shit. But
Well, taking 3 of them, it's likely to do that, isn't it?
well, he was on 1, right? And he was tripping. He's gone, how are you feeling? He's gone, I'm off my box on 1. You must be even fucking worse on 3. And honestly, 15 hours, I was tripping balls, mate. But do you know what? It was one of the best times I've ever had. Like, best drug I've ever took, bar none. Do you know what I mean? And
Well,
I ain't done acid.
it
I ain't
gets your
done
stomach
acid.
in such a way, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like
later
you
on you
got
do
that
get a bit
feeling in your stomach.
yeah, you do get a bit sicky and whatnot. Do you know what I mean?
No,
But
it's like an intense feeling, isn't it? And then you've got then
oh
all them
mate,
other
the
things start
emotions
happening.
and the feelings, what happened? Oh mate, if I told you half of what happened after that, you wouldn't believe it. But that's the point. I was telling people, but like soon as I said I was on acid, they lost interest. I was like, "Nah, you're tripping, mate." But I said, "No, the woman, his bird, and the little kid saw it." Do you know what I mean? They were terrified all night. They were like, "Nah, don't go out." And when we was going out for what was that? Don't leave us. Don't leave us. I was like, "Fuck
Something
it,
that
we'll be
big
alright."
though, it's
Yeah,
like
this is what got me. When people say UFO, I just thought, you just think of a disc. I don't
yeah,
know, like
you've got there's
a
all different types though.
yeah, but when I say this was huge, I mean it was just like, because it was only a couple of 100 meters up, it filled kind of the sky. All you could see was red lights, big massive thing, and it weren't still. It was kind of hovering, just like moving about slightly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my thing anyway. And now, like, when people say UFOs, I used to think it was bollocks, but now, like, I'm like, what the fuck? Even my mate keeps ringing me up. He's like, "What? Tell these this story that we saw." And I'm like, "We over the phone." 'Cause he's telling people, and they're not believing him. Do you know what I mean? And like,
Yeah, you've
we
always
tell
got
him,
the naysayers.
but yeah, but no one believes it. So I've just got to the point. I don't even tell people the stories. You know what I mean? But that's what
I've done
happened.
that. I've had an experience with what would be seen as a spirit, yeah, and it was a reoccurring thing. And at a family gathering, it was between Christmas, New Year, I think Boxing Day or something like that, or Christmas Day, I forget. We're all in the lounge, whatever, having a drink and a bit of party food, and kids are playing with their presents and stuff. And A lot of us there, and chat was going on, and then I brought the story up. Some of them already knew about the story, but it was the little boy that would come and sit on the end of my bed. Yeah?
Right.
I had this reoccurring thing a number of times. At least like 5 times, yeah?
Go on.
I'd be like,
Hold on,
half
cool
awake.
tools. Hold on. I've got to mute this. I can't talk because people's walking past. I can hear people shouting. Hold on.
Okay. Well, I'd be like, you know, in bed, and the room would start smelling of smoke. You know, like stale sort of. I don't know. The room would start smelling of this like stale smoke that you might get off a campfire or a fire, or maybe stale cigarettes, something like that. And the room would just start smelling like that. And I'd be like half awake, and I'd be at my eyes, and I'd see this little figure come in the room, just like seem to appear, and sit on the end of my bed.
See, that's mad.
Right? And I could see him. He's like a little boy of about 7. Yeah? And
Go on.
First couple of times, yeah? Anyway, it happened about 5 times, and I told a couple of family members before. But when I said this at this family gathering, and I explained the story, and I know 100% that was, and the look on his face as well. It's like he's like sad kind of thing. Just like it's just I could see this. You know, it's weird. And I honestly thought the first couple of times it me reoccurring dream. After like the 4th or 5th time, I realised that it was summer, and the way the room started smelling. You know,
Yeah.
you have the normal smelly house, which is, but the room went all like a stale smell. Anyway, time goes by. I told these family members at this gathering, and of course, we had the naysayers, didn't we?
Of course. You're always going to get them.
It was my sister's fella, and then my dad was a 50-50. But my dad had known that my nana had experiences, his mum. And my nana had thought like she had some kind, not a gift, but, you know, like some people are more in tune with that type of thing, aren't they? Yeah? And my nana seemed to be. She was a believer. And she'd had a few experiences. And she kind of said that that's probably what I was having. But anyway, a few of the naysayers, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, time went on. And we went in the loft one day. And in the loft, obviously the roof struts. Some of the roof struts were charred. Like there'd been a fire in the house, yeah?
Yeah.
But the roof struts, they were not, they were just charred. Where you knew there'd been a fire that had, you know, they'd replaced.
Been there before, like.
Yeah, the small ones, but the bigger ones were charred, but they were massive struts. You know, there was nothing structurally wrong with them. They're just like black, sort of where they'd had a bit of fire. Anyway, went and looked. There'd been a fire there, and an 8-year-old little boy and a 6-year-old little girl had died.
See, that's mad, isn't it?
In the fire.
So you didn't know that before, do you know?
No. In a fire in the house. It was like 1979. Yeah. House was built in the 50s. And yeah, they died in the fire. The mother and father, or the mother or whatever, got out. And it was just a little boy. This figure I could see. So yeah, it was. I suppose like a visit, like 4 or 5 times, definitely.
Did
And
Did
it
you
was
ever
like,
try and like talk to him or anything like that, or what?
no, because it's like you're kind of,
Frozen, like you don't
yeah, like you're
stuck
in
for
shock a bit,
words.
aren't you?
Yeah.
It's almost
How
like that,
old was you?
or you're
How
not
old was you?
sure whether you're. It's like you're almost. I don't know, like you don't believe you're awake, or I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's almost
How
as if
old was
you're
you?
stunned. Pardon?
How old was you?
How old was I?
Yeah.
Oh God, probably maybe 35, 32 or something, maybe. So I wasn't like young and like I don't know, mistaken things. This happened a number of times.
Yeah. So it weren't like a one-off or.
No, I put it down to a few different things. First of all, thinking, oh God, it's I don't know, it's like a reoccurring dream, things like that. It was, yeah. But when I did what you had the fear of doing
Yeah.
at that family, you think you're around family, aren't you?
Yeah.
But listen, there's still them naysayers.
Nah, there's always going to be. But when like what I know what I saw. My mate saw it, yeah, and it was the way it all come down. We both saw the same thing, and his missus and kid come out, and they all saw it. Even today's now, like we still talk about it. But this only happened like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Do you know what I mean?
That's mad.
Yeah, yeah. So it was recent. You know what I mean?
How come it hasn't been reported though?
But the next day, he went to the shop near his, and in the shop they were saying, "Did you see that thing flying about the other night?" And he explained what he saw, and yeah, they all said like didn't kind of believe him, but yeah. So like other people apparently saw it as well.
Yeah, well, that should come out then on some level, shouldn't it?
Yeah, but shit like that, they keep it all under wraps. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, officially, yeah,
What cool tools? I've got
yeah.
3% left. I'm going to quickly run in and get my charger, but I need to get the extension lead and whatnot, right? So
All right, mate.
if it runs out and I click off, I'll be back on in 5, right?
All right, mate. All right.
All right,
Cheers.
cool.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's what happens. I mean, you'd expect a bit of compassion from my family. It wasn't immediate family members that were naysaying, but still, that took a bit of guts to say that story when I did it. But yeah, but you see, when you have a reoccurring thing, I believe that it's incredibly more powerful than you had a one-time experience, and you could say you're mistaken, or I don't know, or it was a dream or something like that. But when it was reoccurring like that, it kind of like cemented it into place. That gave me the confidence to tell the story. But the missus had known the story because she'd been in the room with me. Tried waking her up on one occasion, but it's almost as if she couldn't see what I was seeing, sort of thing. It was a bit odd. But then she smelt the smell, the stale smell. What's that smell? She said. Is somebody doing a bonfire outside? During the night hours or something like that. Because that's what people do. Because you're not allowed to do bonfires through the day because of whatever council laws, whatever. And I think it's because people have their washing out online and things like that. But anyway, it it's like that smell. She smelt that smell as well. That was quite powerful. So whatever there is, I believe there is definitely another side. Definitely, you know, um, definitely other dimensions, things like that. I've experienced a number of different things in the past as well, like you know, like I was going past a place, it's opposite Silbury Hill in Wiltshire. Now it's absolutely on the ley line, Silbury Hill. It goes from a place called Cowan over a place called Cheryl, then it goes Avebury, Silbury Hill, Kennet Longbarrow, along this old Roman road, right up to Stonehenge. And I had an experience, two experiences. I used to come back along that road a lot. I'd be doing working on some of the army bases with the old man. School holidays, things like that. And we come back along there, and I'd seen there was this figure walking along, hooded figure, walking along the side of the road on his own, walking in the same direction we were driving. And we had a good run, sort of seeing it from far. My dad saw it, blah, blah, blah. But as we passed it, I stuck my head out the van window and looked back, and the face was glowing, but yet there was no light. Yeah? So the face was glowing, absolutely glowing. And to me, it looked like it was skeletal. But that might have just been. But this guy was a hooded figure with a big hood. You know, like you see that guy on that computer game. It's like he had a bow and arrow on his back, and I don't know, he maybe a sword or something. And he had a big hooded top, and the hood's massive. And it was like that. But then again, another time along that same road, in the field opposite Silbury Hill, I saw figures, 3 figures. Now, this has been seen by other people on other occasions, and I saw these figures. Now, they could have been, I don't know, they could have been just people looking at that field, you know, during the night hours or whatever, because it was dark. We're driving back, and they got illuminated by headlights, perhaps, or whatever. There's these figures in this field, and then many years later, when YouTube, you know, internet got popular, I read the story that there'd been an experience of tall whites in that field opposite Silbury Hill. Tom, I can't put you on because, yeah, Assassin's Creed, like that. Yeah, it's not letting me put you on, Tom. You have to do your adjustment of your camera mic. Yeah, it was like that, Sean. And, you know, that could have been just a figure walking on the road. But it was when I turned back and looked how illuminated his face was, and it was like skeletal, almost ghost-like, if you say. But that could have just been the moonlight, whatever, who knows. But that's what I saw. But obviously we're driving at 40, 50 mile an hour along them roads in a van. Now, there we are, Tom.
Hey,
How
buddy.
you doing? You're on camera, just to let you know.
Cool.
No, just on about experiences that we've had between us, you know, and obviously the fear of telling the story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had any experiences?
You hear me?
Have you had any experiences? Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I just have a bad. I don't know. Something I can't really hear you. You're not very loud.
No, I wasn't. I said, I can hear you. Have you had any experiences, Tom?
With regards to
Have you been listening the last 5 minutes?
No, I'm only after getting back in there.
Ah,
So
right. Okay, mate. I assumed you were listening, so I shouldn't have assumed it. No, we're just on about experiences we've had. You know, like maybe UFO type thing, or figures, or ghost type stuff.
No,
Yeah.
anything like that, no. But like, I was always very skeptical of all that. So I was never really looking or no,
You've not
I've
had any
never,
experiences.
no, zero.
No.
You guys have?
Well, could be deemed as, but it's proven it. I had one where I had a reoccurring little boy come sitting on the end of my bed
Oh man,
about 4 or 5 times.
I've had a few. I've had a few experiences now that have been like mangled on mushrooms or acid, all right, but
Yeah, it's like
nothing sober.
you're a little bit muffled, mate.
you hear me now?
That's better, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like and sometimes it's quite, you got to be a bit brave to tell some of these things, you know.
Yeah. Well, like for me, a UFO is an unidentified flying object. It's not so much aliens for me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got to put
Yeah.
it down to what it could be. But MPS had an experience. You're gonna have to look back at it because I don't remember explain it again. But it'll be back on. He had an
Yeah.
experience where only 2 weeks ago,
All right.
where they saw a big craft above some houses where they was, and other people saw it. The thing was, is he'd dropped acid tab, yeah. So
Yeah. Like I wouldn't like. If somebody tells me something, like I believe them, like because you're not gonna say stuff like that, like because a lot of people would like say, "Oh, you're a fucking idiot," or "You're,"
oh, I tried it
like
once.
yeah. So like especially if somebody I know says, "Hey, this happened," like they're not gonna just say it to you, like fucking ridicule themselves. So you
I
kind
mean,
of gotta
Sean
give.
said something. Bigfoot
Pardon?
and portals. Sean Westerby said something in the chat.
Yeah.
Bigfoot and portals is a strange one. Now that's been repeated by a lot of different people. That story, hasn't it?
Mm.
They've seen certain areas in America where these so-called Bigfoot type characters are been seen, and then there's other reports of them disappearing.
Yeah, like when you hear the stuff like Bigfoots and all that, I kind of think they're all like pranks or man-made or like the Abominable Snowman and all that. But like as far as
But you
UFOs
see,
and
when you get normal people, police officers, you know, regular people
okay,
saying these stories, yeah,
yeah,
they've got no reason to lie, have they? They've got no reason to lie and make it up, have they? Now you will get a nut in there, a law of averages. You're going to get a UFO nut or a
sorry, you broke up there. I was just driving through a
yeah. I
spot that
thought
I was doing signal.
you're going to get law of averages. You're going to get a UFO nut and maybe a alien buff with some of these stories from time to time, aren't you?
Yeah,
But
I always just think of the military when I hear of UFOs.
yeah, well, on the whole, yeah, because there's a lot of dodgy things that they get involved in that are going on and they don't tell us about,
Absolutely.
But on the whole, there's a lot of people reported things that had no gain. There was no reason
Yeah,
for them to say it, and
100%.
why would they come out of it. There's a guy in Scotland. He was what are they called now? Where they look after the land. God, I know the bloody name. Can't think what they're called again. You know, where they look after the land and the stock. You know, for shooting and gamekeeper.
Gamekeeper, yeah.
Right. So there's a gamekeeper in Scotland that he reported an incident with these green ball things that came down.
Mm-hmm.
They'd sort of like got in front of him in these woods. They'd actually hit the floor and there was physical marks left. Yeah.
Okay.
And one of these ball things attacked him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can search it out. And one of these ball things attacked him and he had physical marks on his body. His trousers had all these spike holes in them. Yeah.
Okay.
The ground where he said these ball things, like the size of, I don't know, like, I don't know, maybe the size of 3 or 4 beach balls, yeah? Maybe a bit bigger,
Yeah.
with these spikes. And he said they span in front of him, this pair of them, and they dug into the ground, etc., and wanted to kind of come up to him and attack him a bit. Physical evidence. He had no reason to make this story up. They
That's
tested
I
the
get that.
land, everything. And that's one of the most credible stories from the UK ever.
Okay. What year was that?
I don't know. You'd have to search it out. But Gamekeeper UFO would probably bring it up.
Yeah, sure.
If anybody could have a look at that and maybe put a link in and, you know, but yeah, interesting story. The guy had no personal gain. You know, he was scared to death. And that's one that you don't hear of many of these things attacking people, do you?
Yeah, and like you know these TV shows like where they're fucking ghost hunting and all that bollocks, like them people want to fucking wake up like.
They're the sort of people that they're the sort of people that would make things up or exaggerate it or create.
Yeah, so it's those idiots that do those TV programs, like, you know.
Yeah. Hello, Ahmed. How you doing? We're just talking about, you know, anyone had any experiences with, you know, maybe UFO type things, maybe figures, aliens, ghosts, whatever. We're just generally shooting the shit about that because MPS had a story from 2 weeks ago. He's going to be back shortly. But no, it was like those type of things, they're difficult to even say. I mean, pilots scared to death of talking about anything like that. Because, you know, depending on their airline or their employer, they're thinking of their jobs. And there has been pilots that lost their jobs after reporting something like that, isn't it? But there's a guy who was doing trips out to places like the Orkney Islands in Scotland, in, you know, propeller-driven plane, 2 propellers, take 25 people, and he had an experience. Scared to talk about it because of his job, etc., and eventually did, and he's incredibly credible. But a lot of pilots won't talk because of their job. They're in a really, you know, one of the best jobs you could get. I'm sure, you know, flying is very enjoyable as well, and it's not like work to the people that do it.
Yeah, but for me, a lot of these things like are like, especially just in this, like you have a phone, you can't record it. Like, I mean, it's just there's not enough. I believe something when I see it, you know, and maybe
Yep,
when I hear it, but definitely when I see it.
yep, me too.
This little green man type thing
Hmm.
is just
I mean, I was coming through a film set once, and it was a World War II film being filmed at night, apparently. But they weren't letting us through the set. It's on the edge of an army base, yeah?
okay.
We eventually go through, and I've looked back, and behind one of these porta cabins that they made, it was like a brick front, but you go in and it's actually a big, like a classroom that you get at school or something. And that was converted so it looked like a 1940s room or something, yeah?
Yeah.
In house, something like that. Anyway, we've gone through this road that goes through, it's only a small film set, and it's actually at Rudlow Manor, which is supposedly the British Area 51. I looked back and hidden behind the port cabin were three figures, what would be described as alien graves. I've described it before. Now, to my knowledge, that wasn't part of the film. Yeah?
Okay.
But I don't believe it was real. I believe that, I mean, I could be wrong. I believe that was what's known as my labs, where the military try and convince someone that aliens exist, yeah?
Hmm.
They kidnap someone, bring them to a film set, say they've gone back to 1945, 42, whatever, during the war years. The place is all derelict, there's fire coming out of windows and people running about, blah, blah, blah. You know, they're obviously drugged up in some way um, to make this seem more real. Because all they do is shoot them in the arm with a little gun. They just shoot them in the arm and it puts them into bloody, cloud nine. So then the rest is just guided them to wherever they want them to go. So anyway,
But
on this,
what's going to be interesting for me now is like the advancement in holograms over
I
the
was going
last
to
few
get onto
years.
that.
Do you know, they're going to be like people are going to be, I seen this and I seen that, and a lot of it is just going to be people fucking around with holograms.
They're filming onto clouds, aren't they? They
Pardon?
fly these holograms onto clouds.
Mm.
Yeah,
But even just like you can imagine like the technological advances in that area, like in the next few years. So
but yeah, it's we got MPS back. Hello, brother. How you doing? MPS, is he there? Making people smile. Your sound's off, mate. MPS. MPS, can you hear me? Sorry about this, Tom. Let's just
no, it's all good.
he's on, I think. I'll kick you MPS and then I'll put you back on. Sorry about this a sec.
Hey, it's not good, buddy.
MPS, get yourself on. So how far are you from home now?
I'm only about 10 or 12 minutes. I'm just pulling off
So
some
how
motorway
far do you
here.
travel each day?
Sorry?
How far are you travelling each day?
It's 200 kilometers, 100 each way, 99 kilometers each way.
Do you get like concessions with your fuel and things like that?
I get nothing on the abuse.
You don't get nothing. I hope you're claiming it back against your costs.
Sorry?
You can claim it back though, against your tax and everything.
Diesel expenses?
Yeah, like your fuel and that. Anything you use to get to work and you use at work, you can claim for.
Yeah, for diesel. So I've been doing that for the last 5 years. Like,
you can claim for your boots, your clothing.
yeah. I didn't think you could claim for your.
Didn't you know that, Tom?
Well, no, we do claim back all our taxes, but I didn't think like fuel came into it because that would be a huge thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you can claim back everything that you motor.
Yeah, must
You
check
wear
that
and
out.
tear, your brake pads, everything. MPS, have another go. Come on, mate. I'm waiting. But yeah, you can claim all that back. It's like my missus, she claims she's hairdresser. She claims for her scissors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Her special scissors are like 120 quid a pair. You know, she got a number of sets. And, you know, like stuff like special shoes that she stood in all day. And uniforms, things like that, all of it. She got about, about 1,900 sterling back just for her work stuff this year. Now then, Clint, how you doing, brother? Now then, MPS, how's things?
Can you hear me?
Mm.
Well, listen, my whole thing's fucking about. See, since I talked about
It's
that
okay
shit.
now, you're clear as day.
Yeah, but you can't see me.
It doesn't matter.
No, my camera's stopped working. Listen to this, right? When I come on, everything was fine. My battery was half full, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then soon as I come on here and talked about that, my battery went from 50% in 5 minutes, that normally takes 2 hours, straight down to 0, right? And then now it keeps kicking me out of your thing, and now my camera won't work.
No, I kicked you out once.
No, it went all weird, mate. Why isn't my camera working? My camera isn't working at all.
It's just black. It's because it's night, isn't it?
No, I'm shining my torch in the camera now. Let me go out and come back in. It's weird.
I don't know. Do you want me to kick you? Fucking technical difficulties. All right, Clint. Yeah, no, the beard's still here. I didn't get a chance to do it. I've got the clipper right here, actually. But no, yeah, Ghost in the Machine, mate. Oh, we've got the ex-Duke of York on the screen. For God's sake. There I am. Can you see? The old bloody wrong uns. No, I didn't bottle it. I just wanted to. I wanted this certain thing. My missus is bringing one later on. A gown thing. That'll come off easy. Don't worry about that. I got involved in a game last night and I was quite busy with it. And I did a call with a couple of lads, the 3V. Yeah, the Duke of Pork, yeah. It's a good one, Clint. The Duke of Bloody Roman. Unbelievable. It just shows, those that got access to big money, because it wasn't his money. It was mummy, wasn't it? Access to big money can buy their way out of shit. It's one more for them, one more for us. What is it? Is it mummy paid 12 million to that like his main complainant? And that's the reason she did it, isn't it? She knew she was in for a good payday when she, it's all well and good saying you've been trafficked, but I'm sure she had many opportunities to get away. I don't think she was being held against her will, like maybe she said. The one that put the claim in. I think she liked the lifestyle that those people were giving her. Yeah, I could be a bit wrong, but I don't believe it was as bad as, terrible things have obviously gone on. They were put in positions they shouldn't have been, these girls, but also there's plenty of times they could have escaped. And that's what makes it a little bit, they could have escaped many times, a lot of them. But when they know they're with royalty, she wanted that picture taken more than anybody, no doubt. Because that was her ticket to ride. Now she's a multi-millionaire. 12 million, probably about $15 million. That equates to, I'd say. That's a good old start for any 30-year-old or whatever she is now. Well, MPS, come on, mate. Sort your head out. I don't know where Tom dropped off to. Anybody been anywhere else? Because it's gone a bit quiet. You been up to anything good, Clint? MPS is struggling getting on. I don't know whether Tom's going to come back, but I think we're going to end it in the next few minutes, unless we get a guest, because it's a bit quiet. MPS, if you can hear, give it a go, mate, and we'll try, and if not, I think we'll call it a night. But no, Clint, I'll have this whipped off. I'll show you Monday. I just wanted a nice gown. Charlie Kemwright. Any acid tabs left, please? Wow. Well, guys, it's looking like our guest can't get on. And our other guest is elsewhere. Never mind. So I'm going to leave it. And we'll talk to you next time. Okay? Goodbye. Thanks for coming.